Hello, my name is Anonymous. I'm a writer from Los Angeles, California, and today we are going to do a read-through of an original cartoon pilot called Pat a Cake, adventures featuring the character Patty Cake. This is a cartoon that I wrote with my sister when we were children. We always dreamed of this getting produced one day, and here we are today reading it for a YouTube channel. Patty Cake is a little girl who wakes up in her bedroom. She looks over at her bed and sees that her teddy bear has disappeared. She checks under her bed and then opens up her closet, looking for him in the back of her closet. She finds a note saying that Mr. Snuggles went to look for more stuffing for his arm because he got a hole in it, so Patty Cake goes to help him. They go into her father's workshop. The whole place is covered in tools and gizmos, and she climbs up on a ladder to go look up high for some new stuffing. She can't reach what she needs, so she asks a toolbox if he could pass her the box of stuffing. The toolbox tells her that he hasn't moved in months, but then a Homer comes over and says that he'll get it for her. And he passes it down to a screwdriver and then to a pair of pliers. They all work together to pass the box of stuffing up to Patty Cake, and she thanks them all for their help. She takes the stuffing and runs off to help Mr. Snuggles. He's sitting on a shelf outside, sticking his hand in a bird feeder and trying to pull out seeds. And Patty Cake reminds him that birds will be back soon and they won't have anything to eat. So she quickly stitches him up with a needle and thread. She brings him back inside and gives him a big hug. But then she hears a loud crash and she runs to see what happened. Her father tripped over a bucket and spilled paint everywhere. He's sad that he ruined his project, but Patty Cake tells him not to worry and grabs some paper and starts painting on it. She hands the finished product to her father and he's very surprised. It's the exact shade of blue that he was looking for. So he takes her out to a hardware store to pick out some new tools. She gets a paint mixing stick and a mini paint can, and then they head home. As soon as they walk in the door, Patty Cake's pet hamster Hammy runs over to her and tells her that her teddy bear is missing again. Patty Cake is worried that something bad happened to him. She and her father go out to search the neighborhood. And as they walk, they see that all the flowers in the garden beds have wilted and died. A little girl on a bike goes by and she tells them that she picked all the flowers to make her mother feel better because she is sick in the hospital. Patty Cake feels bad that she didn't realize this sooner and she wants to cheer the little girl up. So she takes her to the hardware store where Patty Cake bought her tools. She shows her how to mix different colors of paint to make new ones. And the little girl is so happy that she gets to make her own flowers that she runs off to deliver them to her mother. Back at home, Patty Cake and her dad are cleaning up from their day. She dumps all her toys into a bucket to clean them up, and then notices a small crab claw. She doesn't remember having a toy like that before. Then she finds a miniature sailor suit just like the one she wears. She puts the two items together and realizes that they must belong to Captain Calico, a character from one of her favorite stories about a brave sailor who goes on adventures. She tries to call out to Captain Calico, but no one answers. She pulls open a drawer to put the sailor suit away and discovers a secret passage behind it. On the other side is a staircase leading down into darkness. Patty Cake is scared at first, but then remembers that Captain Calico would be a great adventure buddy. So she grabs a flashlight and heads down the stairs. She finds herself in a dark, damp cave filled with stalagmites and stalactites. She shines her light around and sees a bunch of shiny objects hanging from the ceiling. As she walks toward them, she realizes that they are seashells. Suddenly, the ground shakes and a giant crab claw swipes at her. She narrowly dodges it and hides behind a rock. The crab approaches and asks if she's seen its owner, Captain Calico. Patty Cake explains that she found his sailor suit upstairs, and the crab tells her that he's been looking all over for his captain because they need his help. Captain Calico had planned on using these seashells to make a wishing necklace. But now that he's missing, they don't know how to activate it. The crab asks Patty Cake to help find Captain Calico so that he can finish his wish. She happily agrees and they set off to look for him. They come across a locked treasure chest and the crab tries to open it, but it won't budge. Patty Cake looks around for a key and sees one up ahead. She grabs it and unlocks the chest. Inside is a rope ladder leading up to a hole in the ceiling. Patty Cake and the crab climb up it and find themselves on a ledge outside the cave. They look around and see that they're on an island. Patty Cake can't recognize any of the landmarks, so she knows that they must be far away from home. She and the crab start walking along the beach, looking for anyone who might have seen Captain Calico. They find a group of hermit crabs playing poker in the sand and ask them if they've seen him. The crabs tell them that they haven't, but they invite Patty Cake to play a game with them. She plays for a while, but then she gets bored and wants to keep looking for Captain Calico. She and the crab continue walking until they come across a house made out of driftwood. There's a sign in the front that says Sandy's Seashell Shack. She knocks on the door and a crab peeks out from behind the curtains. Patty Cake asks if she's seen Captain Calico, and the crab tells her to come in. When she enters, she sees all kinds of seashells and trinkets decorating the walls and furniture. The crab introduces herself as Sandy, the owner of the shack, and Patty Cake tells her that she's looking for Captain Calico because he's missing. Sandy tells her that she saw someone matching his description earlier, and she points Patty Cake to a staircase that leads up to a trapdoor in the ceiling. She says that whoever goes up there hasn't come back down yet. Patty Cake grabs the key from her pocket and unlocks the trapdoor. She climbs up to the next level and finds herself on the deck of a ship. She spots Captain Calico standing at the front of the boat and calls out to him. He turns around and sees Patty Cake and the crab. He's so happy that she came to save him. He tells her that he was captured by a giant octopus and brought onto the ship, but he managed to escape. He thanks her for helping him get his necklace back and says that it is time for him to make his wish. He closes his eyes and holds the necklace up toward the sky. His wish is to have enough love and friendship to fill the entire ocean. And as he finishes his sentence, the seashells on the necklace start to glow. The light spreads out across the water, touching every living thing in the sea. All the animals look up at the sky, feeling a sudden surge of love for everyone around them. Everyone on the island cheers for Captain Calico. They all feel so happy. Patty Cake is glad that she helped Captain Calico, but she starts to feel a little homesick. Captain Calico tells her that he'll take her back home if she helps him collect some more shells for his shop. She agrees and they dive into the water to search for some. As soon as they're underwater though, a giant octopus tentacle wraps around Patty Cake and pulls her down to the bottom of the sea. Captain Calico dives after her. He uses his sword to slice off a chunk of the octopus, and Patty Cake throws the piece into a nearby volcano. She learned from her adventure that killing the octopus won't solve anything, so she needed to get rid of it another way. The octopus is weakened, so Captain Calico swims over and ties a net around it. He tells Patty Cake that she can keep the net and use it to catch fish for food. Patty Cake thanks him for the gift and wishes him luck with his shop. She swims up to the surface and finds her father waiting for her. He's been looking all over for her and is so relieved to see that she's safe. She hugs him tightly and tells him all about her adventures with Captain Calico. She says that she wants to explore more of the ocean, and her father promises to take her scuba diving next weekend. They head home and Patty Cake takes the seashell necklace that Captain Calico gave her and puts it on. It makes her think of her friend Hammy, who's probably wondering where she's been. She runs over to his cage and gives him some fresh food and water. Then she picks him up and cradles him in her arms. She tells him all about her exciting adventures and how she saved Captain Calico. Then she gives him a little kiss on the cheek and tucks him in for bed. She goes to her closet and hangs up her sailor suit so she can be ready for her next adventure. Then she gets into bed next to her teddy bear. She looks over at him and asks if he wants to hear about the time that she explored the ocean and saved Captain Calico. And the teddy bear says yes. And that's the end of our Pat a Cake Adventures cartoon pilot. Thank you guys for watching and subscribing to our channel. If you liked this video, please consider leaving us a like and a comment below telling us what you thought. And if you want to hear more of our original content, you can follow us on social media for updates. Until next time, goodbye.